Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolfe.
Well, clouds cleared up pretty nicely once the cold front finally swept everything off to our south and east earlier this morning, giving us the crisp blue skies that we see across many of our SkyTrack cameras. Our Mercy Health SkyTrack camera network showing off a lot of the blue skies, both in Rockford, Beloit, the northeast side of Rockford, and down in Rochelle. All of this, of course, behind that cold front, with much of the cloud cover now settling well down to our south and to our east as high pressure starts to take over. And that is what's going to help to keep our skies clear as we head through much of the night tonight, and even going in through much of the weekend as well. But we do have some changes on the horizon, and it all starts with where our temperature gradient is currently set up across the entire area. Right now, we still have some of that warmer air well down to our south. Meanwhile, cooler and much drier air up to our north. And locally, we're kind of in between that right now. So many spots are sitting in the 70s as that front has settled that warmer air down to the south. We're at 72 now in Rockford and Dixon, as well as Rochelle and Freeport, 73 out in Savannah, 69 in Poplar Grove, 68 the current temperature over in Harvard. And this will allow for really fantastic weather for those Friday night football games, though starting to get a little bit on the chillier side later and later into the evening. We're down into the upper 50s by the time we get to 9 o'clock tonight underneath continued mostly clear skies. Winds will not be all that strong like they have been for some of our Friday night football games, but as we get into tomorrow, those winds will begin to pick up out of the south, gusting close to 30 miles per hour at times during the afternoon, and some spots could even see wind gusts upwards of 35 miles per hour. Behind that, though, we have another cold front that comes in Saturday night going into Sunday, and that will allow those winds to flip, and instead of a southerly wind, we will see a northwest wind, and that northwest wind also gusting close to 30 miles per hour, although the wind direction heavily impacting where our temperatures will be as we head into the weekend. First of all, though, these strong winds, given the really dry weather that we've had as of late, may allow for some elevated fire risk, especially on Sunday. We have those strong winds of 30 to 35 miles per hour wind gusts. Low relative humidity, especially on Sunday with that drier air behind that cold front, and our dry vegetation could allow for some really enhanced fire risks. So make sure we're limiting outdoor burning and taking those precautions to make sure that we don't have any of those fires unnecessarily spread. Now, with the wind direction that we will see, those southerly winds on Saturday will allow our temperatures to warm into the 80s, 83 degrees for Saturday, but back behind that front, we see the northwest wind, and that time around it'll cool us off down to 71 for our Sunday high. Both of those really windy days, gusts upwards of 30 or 35 miles per hour. We can see where those winds go when we look with Futurecast as well. We see that southerly wind start to pick up, especially as we head into the day tomorrow. That's where we're going to see at least those stronger wind gusts, bringing us back up into the low 80s. And then that cold front coming in late tomorrow evening shifts those winds around and brings us back down into the 70s for those highs, although still will be sunny as we head through Sunday afternoon and going into Sunday evening. We may see a very isolated shower or two try to develop along that front tomorrow night, but it does look like most of the state line, if not all of us, will continue to remain dry. Back behind that front, we do settle in with a cooler pattern, a couple of days in the low 70s and upper 60s, especially those cooler overnight lows given the drier air back behind that front. But as we head through much of next week, we start to see those temperatures climb day after day, back even close to 80 degrees a week from today.
That looks great. All right, thanks, Jordan.